Today we're looking at my LEGO Star Wars Midi-Scale AT-AT Mock. What's going on, guys? This is Night Builds here, and I am coming back at you again with another LEGO Mock Overlook. Last time we were doing the Midi-Scale Venator, and now we're continuing with the LEGO Star Wars Midi-Scale line, or I guess the whole Midi-Scale line in general, because I have some other stuff that's non-Star Wars, but still what I like to call Midi-Scale. So anyways, last time it was the Republican Venator, and this time we are looking at my mock for the AT-AT. And I will say, I do like the Venator, but I'm probably gonna vote the AT-AT because the Venator looks cool, but this is just a nice, cleaned up model that I think, unless you're looking up close, you really might not be able to even tell that it's made out of Lego. And that is where I think Lego Mocs are done best. When you can't even tell it's made out of Lego and it just looks like a straight up action figure, display model, whatever, until you get up close and personal with it. So I'm gonna move this up here. So if we actually look, this is where I started, right here on the head. This is definitely, I think, a strong point of the mock. And I like the different techniques I used here. I like how I managed to get some of that red in for the windshield. The only slight problem I have with it is that it shows on the side, but that doesn't bother me too much. I've kind of gotten used to that. And the fact that I got in the right shape underneath here. And I like this technique I used to get the blasters underneath, using these Technic half pins and a piece that has, it's like a 1x1 plate with a bar attached to the side. So that's a really good technique I have there, and that's all hooked up to a Technic brick. And then you got antenna pieces for the sides, which do have a little bit of articulation, but honestly, you're probably just going to keep it, straightforward. And I'll actually take off one of these panels along with the top of the head. I can be careful about it. There you go. The head connection joint is a little bit fragile. There we go. Okay, so you can kind of actually see kind of how I put this whole thing together. So you have this panel, which you can hook up on the side, and then you see how I managed to get the slope and kind of the angle of that, and I use jumper plates to kind of center the top piece on, which fits quite nicely. Actually, wait, that fits on top of one more of these. So yeah, the top piece can go right up there. There you go. So I like how it all turned out, especially again with the shaping and the angling of this. I think it turned out really nice. Kind of gets that good shape in there, along with the blasters underneath the bottom. I have it right there. And I also like how the if you look at the top here, I like how this perfectly lines up just like that. And also the fact that this actually lines up with these not corner pieces, but these kind of like wing pieces. You can line this up perfectly aligned with that. And it really looks nice and makes it look all that much more cleaner. So anyways, moving it a little more to the back towards the body over here, you can kind of see this is also a nice clean version of the model. I built the whole body first before I added the legs on. So this part is built by stacking bricks with a kind of an odd but very interesting technique. I've never seen anyone else do this before. If we can basically, I'll remove the head for this. Basically what this is doing is this is using some more of those 1x1s with bars kind of sticking out. So basically I use some of those on these 1x4 plates with studs on the ends. So I put those here and here, and that gives a nice angle, and I connect all that into a bar piece. So that just kind of does a good job of getting an angle, and also hooks everything together. So that's really, really nice. And I use these clips to attach to a couple of 1x1 bricks with studs on the side. It's a really weird and kind of complex technique, but I think it definitely does a good job of getting the shape in there, and also good for stability. I think it's a nice kind of sturdy way to do it. And then for the top here, the top isn't extremely great looking. But I think I did good with what I had to work with. It's basically just a flap. Not supposed to open, but it can. Anyways, attaching the head back. The side. Now this big middle chunk here actually isn't built from stacking bricks, although it does have a brick core. But it's actually rather built, as you can see, with panels that are on the side. And you can actually take this off. Remove this too. And that can kind of just show you a little bit of the inside, the inner workings of this. I suppose if you really wanted to, you could use this to make an interior, but as far as I'm concerned, a Midi-Scale model is like a UCS model. That means it's for display, not for play, and interiors are not exactly my concern. So if I can just quickly fix this. There we go. And then put the panel back. Yeah, something else I like is how the panel almost perfectly aligns with this. If it weren't for these plates on top, it would be pretty much a perfect, nice curved angle. But honestly, the plate stack on top, I kind of like that because it, kind of has to do with just a little bit of bulkiness of the AT-AT. Some people might like it, some people kind of wish it wasn't there, but for me, it's kind of whatever. And then looking in the back, this is not really a whole lot going on back here. This is kind of what I would consider to be one of the more weak parts of the build. It has a really weird shape in the back with this kind of curvature. I don't think the proportions on this are exactly right. So some people might like how that turned out. I think it maybe could have been smaller, but just the way Lego is and the way it works, it's no great way to do it. The legs also were kind of a weird thing for me to build. They had a very I had kind of a tough time figuring out a good design. I don't know. I was, debating on should I use Technic or should I use just ratcheting joints or should I use normal clips? What's strong and also what looks the best. So I couldn't find enough ratcheting joints. So what I did do is on every joint, I basically use a ratchet with a clip. So it's not as strong as if they were all ratchets, but it keeps it strong enough for holding up the build. The feet were kind of, again, I had to kind of improvise a little bit, but I do like how I managed to get them off. They do kind of hold that shape. One problem is if you actually look at the front, because of how close together they are, you can't actually have one of the, I guess you would say, toe pieces. You can't have those on the inside. So that's a bit unfortunate, but sometimes, again, you have to improvise when making these. I do like, however, these little kind of ankle braces right here. These kind of rotate, but I like how I did this, basically just using Technic brick with these kind of weird angular arc pieces. So I think it was a nice thing to do. And then if you actually look under, you can kind of see, I tried to include something underneath this because the actual AT-AT has a giant circular support. I didn't exactly have that, but I did try to put something under there. You can't really see it, but there's a bunch of little circles and a lot of circular objects in there. So I tried to put something in there, but it's not great. But I do think overall, mainly because of the body and the head, it's just a nice, cleaned up overall model, and I am proud of it. So anyways, that is going to be about all for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, why not leave a big fat thumbs up? That would be greatly appreciated. And if you want to see more stuff like this, then why not subscribe? And I will catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.